Hello everyone, I welcome you to Constec Academy. This lesson is brought to you by Master Moses Sadode. This is where we have stopped in our previous lesson. Today we will be continuing from here. Today we want to write the codes for the login. But let's start with the close. For the close button. Close button. So you double click on it and then you load it. For the close option, when we click on it, it should close. So you are going to write two codes, and the first code is to save the workbook and then it should close. So the first thing, this workbook dot what save. These are defined here, so we are going to save. Okay, this workbook should what to save. So now when it's saved, then we should unload me. Unload what? Me. You should unload the what? The form. So you save this. Save it. That's perfect. Now let's go back to. So let's go back to the login. Double click on the login. The login, first of all, we need to declare variables. So I'll comment on the code declaring the variables. The variables that I'll use, I'll declare it. Okay. And in our previous lesson, we talk about how to declare a variable. So dim username, user ID as what? As string. So select it. And then dim password as variant. Okay. Now after you have declared the variables, now we assign it a variable. So I'll comment here, assigning variables. Assigning variables. Okay. Now, so username, user ID is equal to what? Where can we locate the username? The user ID rather. If this is a user ID is on the test box what? Test box 1, and the password is on test box what? 2. So it's on test box what? Test box 1 dot test. Very important. Now we will copy this and paste it here. Here from the user ID we change it to password, and the password is on test box 2. Now we are going to use the if condition. Now, so if user ID is what? What do you want to assign to user ID? Quotation mark. I want to assign the variable admin, and password equals what? What do you want to assign as your password? 1 2 3 4. Then what should happen? It should give us a message box. So message box, and the message box should give us a login is what? Successful, exclamation mark, comma, VBA information. Then it should unload me. The form should close. Now if the user is able to enter these details, then this should happen. But assuming the user didn't enter this detail, it should do what? So else it should give us a message box if the user enter a different password and username. It should enter what? Login, or let's say you have entered incorrect login information, and this one should be what? VBA what? Critical. It should give us a critical. And if I believe this code is understood, let's go and run the form and see. So let's enter a wrong password and then a wrong this thing and see. So it's telling us that you have an incorrect login information. Okay. Now, so let's assume you have entered the correct password and then the correct user ID, and we click here. It's a login successful, and then the form will open for us. Very important. That's correct. There's something that we need to do. The VBA, the comma, the quotation mark is supposed to be at this end. Okay. And then here also. Quotation mark is supposed to be at this end. That's good. Now let's go back to the login and write for the clear. Okay. So when the user click on this button, it should clear whatever is there. So how do we? So I'll write a comment clearing the values. Now we realize that the text box 1 contains a value. So how do we write a code for that? You say what? Text box 1 dot value. You select value is equal to what? Empty. Text box 2 dot value, it should be what? Also empty. Then it should give us a message box, a message, and this message is what? You can put it in brackets. I normally put it in bracket and bring the quotation mark. Now login details cleared successfully. Then you bring the quotation mark, you close it, bring comma, and it should be VBA information. VBA what? Information. That's all. Let's save it and run the form. So let's click on the form and then run it. So let's mistakenly enter some details here and click here. It means it has cleared the details for us. Let's also enter some wrong password and click here. It will say that what you have entered or incorrect login information. Okay, that's good. Now we want to prevent the user from using this button, this menu button. We want to prevent it. Yeah, you see what happened? If the user click on it, it can open. Even though you have the login details, the user can bypass it. We want to prevent the user from doing that. So let's click on the form and double click on it. Now come here and click here and go to query close. Now you can delete here. Now this is an inbuilt object which will prevent the user. Let's run only. You're going to run only one line of code, and that line of code we are going to say that if the close mode is equal to the VBA form control. That close button is called form control. Control what? Menu. Then what should happen? Cancel is equal to what? True. So this line of code will prevent the user from using the form control menu to close it. The user will be forced to use the button. So save it and then go to the form and then let's run this form. So let me click here. Okay, let me check some few corrections.